Welcome everybody, it's Tom, and in this video we are going to be breaking down the new Takeo's Memory segment trailer that came out today, and this is going to be talking about a lot of stuff. Obviously Takeo himself, but they're also going to have some hints and maybe some DLC 4 teasers, maybe some Resurrection 2.0 teaser. I'll talk about that one, and it's kind of iffy, but whatever, we'll talk about it. But anyways, let's get right into this, and right at the start, we just see Takeo's sword falling to the ground. I'm not sure if this is symbolizing anything at all, but it could not be. And also we see a bunch of cherry blossoms just falling on the floor. And if you guys want to watch my video on explaining why these cherry blossoms are significant, I'll have a link down below. And this is before this trailer release, so I'm going to be talking like that inside that video. But I recommend you go watch it because it does explain why it's so important to the Japanese culture. After this, we get some frames that flash by pretty fast, and I actually want to come back to these in a bit because there's just so much to talk about, and I can sum up the rest of this part very fast. But also Takeo is talking a lot throughout this trailer, but before we talk about that, I want to talk about some of the other visuals inside this trailer. So especially this part right here, when we actually see Takeo looking to the fire, and at this point he's saying that time can take them all from us. They can take moments and just people like that, and it shows this thing in the fire. It looks like an outline of a person and a tree. I'm not too sure what this is actually talking about. It's probably just talking about Takeo's past, something that happened in the past, or just him that something happened, because he does say moments, so I'm not too sure. And also he says that time can also be a teacher, so that time can actually teach you a lot of things itself. But the thing is, we can also keep all these things that time stole from us in our mind as memories. They're very interesting stuff this guy is saying. It's just pretty interesting. I'm not too sure, but I said I was going to explain everything he said at the end, but I decided right there. There is one other thing which I'll talk about towards the end, but we also hear, I'll let you guys decide this. So right here, people are saying that this is the moon loading screen song that plays, and you guys are going to have to listen to it in the background because there is the other traditional Japanese music coming out also with it. So you just have to kind of listen out for it, and you guys can tell me what you think down in the comments, but I'll play it for you now, and then we'll move on from there.
Time can take them all from us in an instant. Such things are gone forever, unless they live on within our hearts, our minds, our memories.
So right at the end of the video, Takeo actually says something very interesting. I can't remember the exact words, but he just says maybe we'll learn more about ourselves or something like that. We'll learn just something about learning about themselves, which is really weird because learning about yourself is just kind of weird in the first place. Most people don't think they have to, but some people know that you should. But either way, why do I find this so interesting? The reason is that there's a Monty quote. Unfortunately, it's not talking to Takeo, but to Dempsey. Well, Monty tells Dempsey, you don't really know who you are, do you? And what I feel is happening is that they don't actually know who they are. I think they know as much as we do as players, because we don't know what our three other characters, this is of course excluding Richtofen, because we kind of know what he was doing, because we don't know what our other three characters were doing before Origins, and we don't know what they did between Origins and the Giants. I think they just have the same amount of memories as we do, because not only do they, and also they have the memories from between the maps after that, but because we don't know what happened at that time, and I feel that the 115 has been messing with their memories, and they'll feel like, so their perspective is kind of our perspective on them. So this is why they need to learn about themselves. I don't know, it's just a cool idea I thought of, and I thought it would be worth mentioning. But now let's actually go to those images that flashed by earlier in the video. So these images are super interesting. Now I'm going to be breaking them down one by one, but let's actually look at the first one. So the first one just looks like the Reisedrake's teleporter room. Obviously, not everyone can see that right away. The next one looks like Zetsubo no Shima's, maybe one of the windows. Could be. I'm leaning towards this being Zetsubo. Some people are saying it might not be, but I'm not too sure. Go ahead and leave your thoughts down in the comments. Next, we see this interesting one because I've never seen anywhere like this. People were saying maybe it's Zetsubo, but Zetsubo was all cloudy and it was kind of dark, but this is really bright. The sun's reflecting off of everything. So I'm not too sure, but go ahead and tell me what you guys think about this image right here, because I'm really at a loss with it. But then we see something really interesting, and if you guys can look, we actually see some zombies and Dempsey, but I'll play it overlapping again, but as you guys can see, Dempsey is beating the heck out of somebody. And who is that? Is that Nikolai? As you guys can see, he has a helmet, and Nikolai has a helmet. and you guys can see like the 3 lines above it, not really lines, but kind of bends in it. And I really think this is Nikolai, but why is Dempsey fighting Nikolai? I have no idea. Also, one other thing to keep note of is if you look at the zombies, they look like the Dreisedrache zombies, so I believe this to be in Dreisedrache, and this never happened to our knowledge, so I'm not too sure, because from what we know, Dempsey never had any real conflict with Nikolai. It was Richtofen he didn't trust at this time, not Nikolai. Not too sure what's happening there, but we're going to actually go to this really, really interesting frame, and I'm assuming this is going to be from Takeo's memories, even like far before all this happened, because you can see that this looks like maybe a Japanese style house. I'm not too sure, but you guys can see someone just looking at us. I'm not too sure who this is. I'm not even sure if it's a guy or a girl. I'm really at a loss with it. Maybe it could be his wife. Maybe it could be him in the past, or just something like that. This is just the thoughts I thought of. Maybe, I think it looks like a bedroom to me. I don't know where I got that from, but I'm assuming maybe it's a bedroom. But after this, we see the boat from Zetsubo no Shima's cutscene. Again, not too sure what this has to do with anything. Just looks nice. But right here, this is where things start to kick up super high, if that's a saying. But as you guys can see, Richtofen walking towards a teleporter, and who's in there? It's Takeo, and what does he do? He strikes down Richtofen with his sword. So what is happening here? Why is he attacking Richtofen? When did this happen? It is a teleporter, so the only 2 planet maps that we've had teleporters are on the Giant and Dreisedrache. I don't know which one this could be, but why is he attacking him? I have no idea. Of course, thoughts down in the comments, but I'm really at a loss for this one. But after this, we get this really dark image, so I'll enhance it for you guys can kind of get an idea of what's happening. But even after this, I have no idea where the heck this is. What is this? Just look at it. I don't recognize this as any of the maps we've played at or anything. I'm really, really lost for this one. If you have any ideas, go ahead and tell me down in the comments, but I really don't know what's happening here. But then this one blew me away when I saw this. When I was watching this, I jumped out of my seat. Actually, it wasn't when I first saw this. This is when I went and started playing it slow motion. When I saw this, that time wasn't the first time I watched it, but either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When I saw this, I saw Richtofen on fire, and I was all like, no. Is this? And I just thought about it, and I'll play you this for right now. I won't play the whole thing, but just for you guys can get an idea.
It is not all bad news, Nikolai. We may have failed in our mission, but at least there is now one less Richtofen to deal with. If it is any consolation, tell him that the first one is the hardest. I should know. I've killed at least 3 Richtofens. There was the one in the fire, the one with the boat hook, and the one... What? No one told me? Sorry. Forget what I just said. Everything will be fine.
Yes, that is a radio from the Giant. Nikolai talking about how he killed 1 Richtofen in the fire. And then he talks about another one. But, whoa, dude. So he wasn't killing 1.0 Richtofen. This is obviously, looks like an Origins Richtofen. But why the heck is he killing him? We never knew what that radio meant before, but then we get some visuals and we still don't know what's happening. Also, you can see Nikolai's right arm, so he's walking away, like walking towards the camera. And you guys can see that little string thing. I'll have an image to compare the two on screen, as you guys can see that little string thing going from his arm. But why is this? Where is this? I assume this to be in the Giant, but what? Man, I am so lost at this one. What's happening here? I have no idea. Any ideas? Again, I keep saying this, but go ahead and tell me them down in the comments. But after this, we get some more just looking like a traditional Japanese house with the cherry blossom in the background. But after this, we see, this is where it got my head thinking. When I saw this, I saw Takeo drawing his sword at Richtofen and Dempsey. And what did we see a while ago? We saw Takeo killing Richtofen seemingly, and we also saw Nikolai killing Nick Richtofen. But before that, what did we see there? We saw Dempsey beating up Nikolai. But right now, Takeo's drawing his sword on both of them. So what if it's Richtofen and Dempsey? What if this is teasing at DLC 4 and Richtofen and Dempsey team up against Nikolai and Takeo? I don't know, it's just a really cool thought. I don't know why it would happen or anything, but I just see these hints pointing towards that. That's just all I can see. We don't hear about Dempsey ever attacking Richtofen or Richtofen attacking Dempsey, but we also, and I'll show you in a little bit, about, it's kind of like Richtofen attacked Takeo, and we see Dempsey attacking Nikolai. So, whoa, what? I have no idea. Of course, this looks like the Rise of Drake where Meal Kick is to me. I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. I could be mistaken, but then we see some blood splat inside, again, this Japanese looking place. I'm not too sure. I think maybe Takeo killed somebody in the past that maybe he regrets or something like that. But here's another really dark image, so I'll enhance it for you guys. And as you guys can see Nikolai and Dempsey in the background. And I have no idea where this is. So what I'm thinking, this could be something that happens in DLC 4, and that would be so cool. Imagine we got a teaser right here. But just to clear up something, people were thinking maybe this is the giant, which I very much disagree with, because if you look at this place, it does not look like a giant at all. People were saying that it's the giant's cutscene, opening cutscene, but again, you guys can watch that back. You cannot find an angle that looks like this at all throughout that whole cutscene. It's not the giant, just to clear that up. But again, I'm not too sure where this is. Maybe it's DLC 4, maybe just something like that, maybe an intro cutscene. That'd be so cool if they tease the intro cutscene right here, even before DLC 3 releases for Xbox. That'd be insanely early. But now we're at the last one, and this is one I was talking about, where Richtofen, it looks just like Richtofen's just sitting down, doing his normal stuff, and it looks like he's in Dreisedrache inside that room area. I could be mistaken. Of course, if I did make a mistake with any of these, go ahead and tell me down in the comments, but I'm thinking that's where it is. Looks normal. I'm going to actually enhance this for you guys, and you guys can see something very interesting. And you guys can see on the floor what I think is maybe Takeo. I think that's Takeo on the floor, dude. Look under his feet. Under Richtofen's feet. Is that Takeo on the floor? I have no idea. So, if this is really Takeo on the floor, and Richtofen did something, is it really true that Richtofen and Dempsey are going to fight against Takeo and Nikolai? Imagine that. That'd be insane. Oh my gosh, I'm not too sure who would be the good guys and who would be the bad guys. Of course, Richtofen and Dempsey are my two tops out of these 4 characters. I'm going to be rooting for them if they're the good guys or bad guys. I don't care. But anyways, that's about it for this video. There's also, I'll actually show you this image. I decided that I would put in there. What the heck? You guys can actually see in this image right here. I'll zoom up on Takeo's leg. And people were saying maybe this is Takeo's leg. And it looks like kind of mechanical to some people. I'm not too sure myself. I didn't give it that much thought or having actually looked into it that much. But you guys can decide for yourself what you guys think about that. But if you guys did find this video enjoyable and at least informative, go ahead and thumbs up. And if you guys want to stay tuned for more Gorod Krovi or zombies in general, DLC 4, trailers, Easter eggs, anything like that, go ahead and subscribe. But I'm going to go, and I will catch you guys on my next video.